What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show podcast, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loans Studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. Today's topic is the Dockers mandate. Ooh, let's have a conversation about that. So years ago, when my wife and I lived in Los Angeles, I had a couple of different jobs that would allow me to go out and audition for shows, or when I started doing more stand-up comedy, which was really where I was thriving in LA. When I started doing more stand-up comedy, I was able to take a job for a while as an apartment manager. I got certified as an apartment manager. I had nothing to do with apartment management. I didn't know how to, change a toilet seat, turn off a flow stop. No, I didn't know any of that stuff. But I took this position with this company. I'm not going to name the company, but it was a pretty good sized company, and they were thriving in Los Angeles, and they were growing and they were expanding. And by all accounts, they were a great company. Okay. And one of the reasons I took the job was so that I had the flexibility in my schedule, and my office was attached to our apartment. Yes, I'm laying all of this out because this is important to the story. My office was attached to our apartment. And these were on-site managers. Most of their buildings were smaller buildings. They had, I think, 20-something, 27-ish buildings, I think, when I worked for them. And a lot of the buildings were smaller buildings, and the managers, they didn't have a separate office from their apartment. So they would have to meet with people in an empty apartment room or meet with them in the courtyard to sign their paperwork, et cetera. I kind of had my thing that was separate from. And it was a great gig as far as the flexibility of it. Now, there were times, yes, that somebody would have a leaky toilet in the middle of my New England Patriots game on a Sunday, and I was annoyed because I'd come in and they'd tell me about the game, and I'd say, don't talk to me about the game. I want to get this fixed so I can get the heck out of here. Yes, there was that. There were times where I had to call police a few times for tenants, and like this one woman whose boyfriend wouldn't leave the premises. We had to get him out. Stuff like that happened. Whatever. That's part of the game. But every quarter, we would go and we'd have to get recertified or trained in something to be, for the Los Angeles Apartment Association, or to be in compliance with the state or national guidelines. And there would be things like sexual harassment training, right? Or sales training. There was just different trainings we had to take. And at this one particular quarterly training, and I should preface by saying, I was always in like a nice polo shirt and nice jeans, okay? Because my job required some physical activity, and one of the few times that I happened to wear khaki pants, I split them because I was having to do stuff. Not fun to then have to go change in the middle of your day. So I was always in kind of nice jeans, nice polo, nice shoes, the works. I looked good, had a good head of hair. No, I didn't. I was already going bald. Stop it. I see that mockery through the camera. So we go to this thing this one time, and one of the things that the company would do is this is so much exposition. Taylor, is this too much exposition? I'm going to get to the point now. It's a little too much. All right, folks, camera 2. My producer, Taylor, said this is too much exposition for you all, so let me cut to the chase. They would occasionally have secret shoppers come out and shop us. They'd go through a phone call, make sure we followed the scripts, then they'd go and they'd do a tour, all right? That's how this happened. One of the managers took a tour with a secret shopper in his pajama pants and house shoes, house slippers. Let me let that sink in. He took a tour in pajama pants and house slippers. All right, I'm going to go back to camera 1 now. Stupid, right? First of all, you should never do that. Dress nicely. Dress professionally. It's Los Angeles. People are in shorts most of the time, but look good, right? I was always in the jeans and the polo. We go to this quarterly training, and they mandate that now you have to wear khaki pants, dress slacks, Dockers, things like that. I'm annoyed at this mandate that happened. Instead of dealing with the one person who infringed on the rules and all the rest of us looked good, which P.S., this guy was sitting right beside me at this training, and he happened to be in Dockers. And I'm about to do a move here. You're going to be like, Dallas, this was not a nice move. This was before all the mind shift work, okay? So calm down, Jamal. All right, so he's in khakis that are stained, and they're wrinkled, and they're gnarly, and they're gross. And I stand up in my nice polo and my pressed jeans, by the way, and I said, you're telling me could you stand for me? And he stood up for me. And I said, you're telling me you would rather me be in khaki pants that are wrinkled and oily so long as they're Dockers rather than look good and professional? And they said, yes, because this is the new rule. Everybody has to wear Dockers and khakis and dress slacks. So I did. I complied. No problem. But I was so annoyed at that dude. And he looked like trash even in that. I mean, trash is going to look like trash, right? So I then began to think, oh, wait, I've behaved this way in my own life. They created this one problem. They created a sweeping mandate, and they went super extreme with it. And I began to think, boy, I've done that in my own life in some ways. When one thing went wrong and I just did a sweeping overhaul, I just said, I'm going to change it all, and I went super extreme with it. And you know what? Those have never worked out for me. Super extreme, catch-all shifts and changes, they never work because they're too extreme. And I've historically called myself an extreme guy. And my wife has been like, oh, you're such an extremist. It's either on or off for you. There's no dimmer switch. I'm like, yeah, historically, that's who I thought I was. But you know what? None of my long-term transformation has come from extreme choices. None of it has come from a sweeping mandate. No massive one-time adjustment. None of it has come from that. It's been from small micro changes. Small micro adjustments, changing the way I move. We've been talking about this all week. We talked about it on the chiropractor episode, right? We talked about it yesterday with the lady who was walking on her ankles. And I didn't have to accept the new normal or do a big sweeping change and say, here's the new mandate, Dallas wear Dockers. No. The long-term lasting change in my life has come from little shifts, little changes, becoming aware of the little things I've said, and then going, oh, I'm not going to say it that way anymore. Ooh, why did I say it like that? And I challenge you that is what needs to happen in you too. We've had these same positive play calls all week, and I think they're important. I think this one's important today, that a minor adjustment can equal a major relief. Instead of one big, broad, sweeping scope of I'm going to change it all. No. I think a minor adjustment could change you over time. This show is all about small micro habits, right? This show is about Dallas Daily for a reason, right? Daily doses of insight, inspiration, and actionable takeaways so that you can have the action to get the transformation. But it's small steps. And I think you and I need to start accepting the concept that big change happens through small adjustments. Long-term transformations is not going to come in an extreme sweeping mandate in your life. You don't have to say, I will never wear denim again and only wear Dockers. That's stupid. Small things can change your world over time. Addressing the one issue is always better. By the way, there's a big leadership principle in there. Addressing the one person who was infringing on the rule rather than everybody to punish one. Okay, separate conversation. Taylor, let's make that a separate pod. Here's what I'm saying to you. You don't have to say one more time, we're coming up on the new year, and you don't have to make big sweeping resolutions as to what you're going to do in your life in the new year. May I suggest to you, one small change, one minor adjustment, consistently implemented will give you an arch and a trajectory of transformation. All right, that's it, my friends. That's all I got for you. Minor adjustments, major relief. Download the things. Thank you for joining me this week. Next week, we got a lot of holiday stuff coming at you because that's the time of year it is. But go to the website for resources. Thank you so much. Go out there. Have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to DallasDailyShow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.